Hello, Internet, if that is your real name. Welcome to On the List. I have a very wonderful special guest tonight, a good friend of mine, and star of the world-renowned improv comedy group, Isaac Improv. He's got a heart of gold and a mouth like a sailor. Please welcome Anthony Russo. Come here.
Hey, man.
There it is.
That's great.
There it is.
That is great.
Good to see you.
Sharp.
You look sharp in your
Bro.
sweater.
Hey, everybody. Hey.
Anthony Russo.
Hey, World Wide Web.
You made it.
I'm here.
You made it to our show.
This is the coolest.
This is the whole set. This is all of it. It's all here. It's all for you. It's all set up for you.
That's I've seen it a couple of times, but like being in it, it's a different story. It's like I would describe this set like the Grand Canyon. You know, like you're there and you see it, and it's hard to describe.
Yeah. Also, at different times of the day where the shadow hits it, it's a different canyon.
I've always said that about this set. At sunset, it's beautiful.
You should be here later on in the afternoon.
Same amount of dead cattle as well.
Thank you for being here. You pulled your strings and managed to get on the show somehow. So congratulations.
No kidding.
You obviously have friends in high places.
No, this is a huge deal, and I'm honored to be here. And this is currently my favorite show on the internet.
Yes. That's so good. The
Netflix
internet's pretty big.
Not included.
There's a lot of little shows out there. Netflix included?
Netflix not included. I just want to give you there's a lot of quality content. And if Netflix wants to pick up this show.
This one episode that you're on?
This is the pilot, for the one show.
Yeah. Every show will have you in it then. That's the only way it's going to be any good.
Yeah.
You're a dad. You're a dad twice now.
2 times.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is the first time I've interviewed you since you've had 2 kids.
I know. I'm a different guy now.
Do you actually feel like you're a different person?
I don't feel any different. I think the biggest difference so far between I have one kid who's almost 3, Crosby, and then I have a second kid who's, as of this moment, just 2 months. And so far the biggest difference is with the second kid, I have caught poop in my hands twice. And I never had to do that with the first kid.
No poop at all.
I feel like that's the biggest difference going from 1 to 2 kids is you catch more poop in your bare hands than you do with just one.
What did you do with the first one's poop? Did you just on the carpet?
Maybe I just had a better sense of him, like when he was gonna poop. But this kid, it's like, oh, he seems about done. Take the diaper off, and you just see him loading up. And there's a parental instinct. Anybody who's a parent, I feel like. You get this the first time you have a kid, and you just start doing this thing, right?
Yeah.
Like throw up, puke, kid's gonna fall off the couch.
I don't like that stuff so much that I don't know what's so valuable in my house that it can't just get pooped on. Like I don't want to touch the poop, so I'm not gonna reach out and cup it.
Yeah.
And because then what do? Once you have that poop in your hands, are you turning on a faucet with your elbow?
Right.
I don't want to talk about the details. Siri
turns on the faucet for me. You don't have a Siri that does your faucets?
I don't.
Oh, man.
I don't have a faucet Siri.
Gosh, 1999 at your house.
I wish. Will Smith was just rocking.
Y2K was our biggest problem. We were all braced for Y2K.
So with your comedy, your excellent world-renowned comedy, as we've already discussed.
Oh, stop.
Do you feel like being a dad has influenced that comedy? Like being a dad twice now, does that change how you approach comedy? Does that change how your wife views your comedy? Are there more dad jokes now than there were before? Twice as many?
Right, well, yeah, I think it makes sense. All of my dad jokes make sense now. There's oh, he does that because he's a dad, whereas before it was probably just nobody knows why he does that. Something must be wrong with him. I think you do. You do think about I have to justify this to kids now. I have to, I'm doing comedy and I think it's fun and I've sort of talked my wife into it. But now I have a kid who's some kid's dad is an architect and he takes him to I built this building, son. Aren't I an impressive guy?
Yeah.
And now I have a kid that I'm check out this Instagram post. Isn't that your dad's so funny? You have to quantify. I swear there's a reason for this.
I'm a good writer.
Right.
So take that to show
I
and
do
tell.
nothing I have nothing actually impressive to show for what I do.
He'll laugh someday.
I hope it's a big deal when your kid can laughs at stuff now, which is great. She's at that age.
I would put that more on me than on her, but
but it's such a great age when you can make them laugh. Probably for people like us that likes to do comedy, because it's such a relationship builder. You're like, I'm going to be able to trick my kid into liking me, because I'll be able to make them laugh.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like something to the architect that, like, when did your kid become impressed by what you do? Like an architect, when it was a kid, like, look at the building and go, yeah, Dad, that's fantastic.
Right.
The way you sculpted the outsides and I don't know, what else architects do.
Right.
Like a basketball player can just dunk a ball and a kid's like, cool.
Yeah.
But it would, like, for us and architects, who I commonly pair together.
Right. Yeah. So similar.
When do our kids become impressed by what we do?
Right.
And the answer might be never.
I think that's it. Yeah, I was thinking about the basketball player, and like if you like from birth see your dad dunking a basketball, I wonder at one point you're just like, yeah, hey, whatever. People dunk basketballs, Dad. Get over yourself.
Do you think there's less pressure then for our kids to achieve? Because
for sure.
At best, like,
yeah.
Like if your dad's LeBron James. And you're like, man, I'll never be LeBron James.
Right.
Like, that's got to weigh on your heart for like ever. But then your kid sees us and goes, yeah, I could be that.
I could do better than that.
It doesn't seem like it's that hard.
Yeah, I always think that about like Walt Disney's kids, like, and they're involved with the company and stuff. But it's always like, man, your dad like revolutionized the world. It's all different because of him. Oh, you're good at accounting. Great.
Congratulations.
That could be solid. And that's a solid career. Yeah. Accountants are wonderful people, guys, wherever you are. But it's just, you're right. It's such a high bar. I think of being a kid of somebody great must be like a little bit of a taxing proposition, because if you're just like, I just want to get into landscaping. Yeah. Everybody leave me alone.
That's the benefit that I've given my kid, is that I'm actually not that good.
Thing.
You're welcome.
The best thing you can do for your kids is to be really not successful.
Yeah. So you bought a house recently.
I did buy a house recently.
And you renovated this house.
You sure did.
Weeks before your newest baby showed up. And I hear you love the house.
It is a house. It is 4 walls. And I feel like anytime you have a conversation like this, you have to say, I'm very, very lucky that I have a house. A lot of people don't have places to live. I understand. I'm very,
but you hate it.
Very blessed in a lot of ways, but I hate this house. We moved in. It's a great deal. We got a great neighborhood. It's a good house, but like the buying process was terrible. We moved in. There was. I won't go into details, and I'm already embarrassed at how much poop talk we've had. But there was human pee in all the carpets.
That's
we had to take the carpets all out immediately, which again, I feel like that image gets lost. If you ever removed a carpet, it ends up touching you a lot. Like there's no graceful way to like, oh, let me get this carpet out of here. Like you've got to like
bear hugging
this thing all the way in with the knowledge that it's saturated in human pee. So did that
allegedly human? It's hard to tell at some point.
It's either blood, urine, or semen. So that was one of the things we had to deal with. We just had a lot. We had a lot of
the infestation.
We had an infestation of bees. We had a bee swarm that we had to take care of. The bees.
It's a common thing.
It is very akin to the plagues. This house has been a series of plagues that we've gone through. Once we took care of it, like the plagues, you get out of one and here comes the next. We took care of the bees. When we unearthed the bees, under the bees was hundreds of cockroaches. I'm not sure if that's a regional thing. If you're not from Florida or other areas of the South, maybe that's a thing. Cockroaches are just, I can say with absolute theological certainty, straight from the pit of hell. Like that is exactly where they're from. They are these insects that you just tell that
I don't know that they're that big.
So they're this big, America and the world. That is a cockroach. And they're just disgusting. There's just nothing redeemable about a cockroach. With the bees, you can sort of respect their hard work. You know what I mean? Like they colonize. There's like a system to bees. Cockroaches are manifestations of hell. That's all. That's the only way to define them. So they start. So the picture, to get into it briefly, the bee column was in, or the beehive was in this column. We got all the bees out. We took care of that. some of the things that got the bees out caused these cockroaches that were at the bottom of the column they wanted to get out. They thought it was an emergency. So they were jumping out of this column towards our house. I was standing in front of our house like a hockey goalie with a dustpan in one hand, and then I was stomping and kicking and swatting them as they flew out, literally hitting me in the face.
And you know what was happening at this time? Your kid was looking at you as a hockey goalie going, "That's my dad. I'll never be that good."
Thinking I can for sure do better than that. That again, we talk about what we give our kids. Son, if you are never swatting cockroaches out of midair in front of your house.
Let's hope you don't have an infested house when you grow up.
You made it. But we have a pond, all the fish died in the pond through a series of unfortunate events. This has just been our kid was praying at the end before we went to bed, and his bed is next to a wall, and he was praying, and I was like, "What do you want to pray for, buddy?" And he said, "I want to pray for the man in the wall." I was like, Brad. So as I was praying that night,
I got chills right now thinking about it.
It's literally horrifying. As I was praying that night, I was talking out loud. I was a little bit louder than normal, and I was like, "Dear man, we want to pray for the man in the wall, who's our friend, who we are here to be friends with. We have no issues with the man in the wall. Please do not poltergeist us," or whatever it is.
We're not starting anything.
If there's an Indian burial ground near here, I assure you I was not aware, Mr. Man on the Wall. So it's been a great house, and I'm thankful to have a roof over my head. We are blessed.
Yeah, I can tell. Well, I want to get into the show. We're here on the show, and I want to talk about being on the list.
Yeah.
As you know, the premise of On the List is to get on someone's list at their next event.
Right.
So we're going to do your...
Which is funny. You would be on the list at my event.
Because I'd have to be.
Probably.
I have a list of questions.
Okay.
Because we need you to try to get on my list.
Yeah.
So I have a list of rapid fire...
That makes sense, yeah. We both want to get into each other's show.
Sometimes when you come up with a premise for a show...
Things fall apart.
You don't stick with it.
Yeah, right.
And you just like a name and a logo.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm going to ask you rapid fire questions. Let's see how many you get right. You should get more of these right than some other people.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So let's get a minute on the clock. We have a minute running. And go. What TV game show would I do the best on?
What's it called? Price is Right.
Wheel of Fortune. What is the line between art and not art?
Comedy.
Okay. What felony would I most likely be convicted of?
Murder.
False. Attempted murder. I don't think I could go through the whole thing. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. What are a few of my other favorite things?
Women's basketball, sci-fi movies, video games.
No. Beard oils and saltwater pools would have been accepted answers. Who should I go see in concert?
Shawn Mendes.
Lionel Richie. Olympics or X Games?
Oh, X Games.
No, Olympics. Come
Tony
on,
Hawk.
classics, man.
900.
Tony Hawk could be in the Olympics. What should I learn?
French.
Okay, I was going to say karate. What Eminem lyrics describe me best?
I got some skeletons in my closet, and I don't know if no one knows it so before they throw me inside the coffin and close it.
Okay.
In its entirety.
Brady or Rogers? LeBron or Michael? Tito or Jermaine?
Brady, Jermaine, and Michael.
Oh, no. Rogers, Michael, Tito. What's my motivation?
Attempted murder.
No. Correct answer is dollar bills, y'all.
I should have known.
Anthony Russo.
How many did I get?
We got 3.
3? Got 3.
I swear
Check the
there might have been a 4th one in there.
I swore you loved women's basketball. You're always talking about it. Listen here, I love the show. I love your show. I love this. I love what you guys are doing. I love the team that is behind the cameras that nobody can see right now.
Give it up for them.
They're the best. And so I thought as kind of a gesture, I wanted to kind of play the game as well. So I came up with a list of questions.
Okay.
Because there's no way in a couple minutes to express just how much time Tim and I spend in a car together. So I feel like you should know.
Just sitting in
and
the
obviously
car,
I knew 3 of your 10.
Having driveway moments.
So I knew 3 of your 10. So that's the goal maybe, that you have to beat.
All right.
Can I, as a guest, request 1 minute on the clock?
We can give you 45 seconds.
45 seconds.
I will step up and say you get a minute.
Okay. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
I want to wait till we're ready.
All right, we're ready with our minute.
Yep.
And go. What's my spirit animal?
A turkey.
Correct. How do I feel about the Renaissance Festival?
Love it, every minute of it.
Exactly. Who's my favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Superman. Close. What's my favorite milk?
Whole milk.
No, almond milk. I'm very lactose intolerant. Who's the best wizard?
Gandalf. Duh.
Harry Potter. Oddly. He's got like hundreds of years still to grow. What's the best Taylor Swift song?
Every
Taylor Swift song. That's the answer. It's on my phone. How many pizzas did I eat yesterday?
At least 2.
2 pizzas. What's my favorite team?
Team Captain Planet. Team.
The Jamaican bobsled team. What's my best Halloween costume?
Oh man, Super Mario.
Shark Week. What's the best M&M?
Marshall Mathers.
That's it. Yes, correct.
I love that we had 2 M&M questions in there.
I know. How many? 5.
Yeah, I know you better.
Yeah, you
I know
win.
you better than you know yourself.
Man, no kidding.
Oh my gosh, Shark Week was a good Halloween costume for you.
That's my favorite.
Hey, clap.
Oh, that's
Clap
right.
for me. Yeah, you gotta clap for me. Thanks everybody.
You can come to my next show.
I'll be here all week.
Half off tickets.
That's so great. So you're doing comedy now.
I do comedy. I do. Because the architecture thing didn't work out. A lot of math.
You had to think of something else to impress your kid.
It was one or the other.
I've heard you mentioned something about wanting to do to venture from improv comedy,
Right.
which is made up sketches and things, to doing stand-up comedy.
Right.
So I want to hear some of that. What's that been like? Have you done improv before?
I've done improv.
Or have you done stand-up?
I haven't done stand-up yet, and I want to brag on you because obviously we're an improv comedy duo.
Yeah.
We travel, and that's kind of our thing. But you've supported me so much in this, which is great. You know what I mean? Like when In Sync broke up, I don't know how much was Justin, was he ostracized? How much did the group support the decision? And you've just really encouraged this creative venture of mine. So that's you can't say enough. That says a lot about you. But I've not done stand-up comedy yet, and I don't want to overhype it. But I think what I would like to do is revolutionary. I don't think people are doing it right now, but I'm excited about it. I think what I want to do is. And especially because I'm new, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm new. I haven't done this a lot.
So did you write your own stuff?
I'm so new. I'm pretty sure I just hit my mic several times, so that's gonna sound really good. Sorry, internet.
It's a thing we do.
So as I'm starting out, I think like you want to start with the classics. You know what I mean? Like when you play music, you don't like just write your own song the first time you play an instrument. You play another song. You play a song that's already been played. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You start with Mary Had a Little Lamb or whatever Shawn Mendes song kids are playing now, because that's where you start.
Yeah,
if you want to,
that's where I'd start.
Stitches would be my recommendation. So I'm gonna do. I think where I'm gonna kind of hang my hat is I want to do covers. I want to do stand-up covers. So somebody else has already done the bit and it's good. And sometimes, you won't believe this, some comedians do this, but they just steal it. So they don't attribute it to the creator.
At least admit it.
Right. I'm going to be about that. I want to tell people where it's from, and then I'm just going to do their stand-up bit.
All right. Cool. Well, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to have Anthony Russo doing some stand-up comedy covers. So stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to On the List. Anthony Russo, improv comedian turned stand-up comedian, is going to try his first attempt at doing stand-up comedy for you now. Anthony, are you ready with your stand-up comedy microphone?
Stand-up comedy covers.
Stand-up comedy covers. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Russo.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys ever notice that they don't serve Hot Pockets like a fancy restaurant? And it's also difficult to get the temperature correct. Oftentimes it's either cold, it's cold because it comes out of the freezer, or it's hot. It's very hot, and you burn your mouth. Hot Pockets. Jim Gaffigan. Thank you. This is a classic. Hey, Walter. Yeah, Jeff? What do you think about getting married? Getting married's like buying a new car. Because if the car's new and great, and then it gets all these scratches and dents. Jeff Dunham. Thank you, guys. Thanks. What else? Okay, let's do, here we go. Classic. You might be a redneck if you drive a truck or some sort of SUV, bigger SUV, and you park it not on the driveway of your house, but somewhere else in the vicinity of your house. Jeff Foxworthy. Thanks, guys. These are just classics. All the credit to the original artist. What's crazy about being a kid is that, when you're a kid, everything is up. You can't wait to grow up, and you can't wait to do, everything's up. And then you get older, and everything's down. It's like quiet down, or sit down, or down. Jerry Seinfeld.
Nailed it.
A couple other classics.
Oh, good. There's more.
This is Ellen DeGeneres. No, man. His dad did it wrong. Pretend I didn't say that. I'm supposed to write for my comedy, but I struggle with procrastination, so I just kept putting it off. Ellen DeGeneres. Crushed it. Here we go. It's me, Randy Aziz Ansari. Classic bit. Thank you guys so much. Again, just starting out.
Yes.
Just starting out. So,
Killing it. Absolutely killing it.
Well, what's great is that people remember the stuff. You can get requests.
Yeah. Yeah, classics.
And I like to say, I put my spin on it,
That was definitely your spin on some classic
So it's like
stuff.
when you kind of make a song that's not supposed to be acoustic,
Yeah.
then you...
You just really feel the warmth of that joke.
Sure.
Thank you, Anthony, for coming on the show, for being on the list. Thank you all for listening and watching. I've had a great time. Anthony Russo.
Thank you, guys.
Meeting. Come back next time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you some other day, I guess.
Bye, Internet.